Thank you. You may be seated.
Good morning, distinguished guests and colleagues. Welcome to the Chief of the South African Army Distinguished Visitors Day, held here at SA Army Combat Training Center in the land of diesel and dust. I am Captain Sisa Tsebula, one of the commentators who will be taking you through this demonstration. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to acknowledge the Minister of Defense and Military Veterans, Honorable Minister N.G. Mutsecha, and all our distinguished guests. All right, Kena Khasapane will now orientate you. Kena Khasapane.
Ladies and gentlemen, from my side, good morning. I am Colonel Victor Khasapane. I'm going to orientate you in terms of the terrain that we will be demonstrating in front of you. If you are seated and we orientate you from your positions to your left, that indicates the northern direction. To your right, that's the southern direction. You are facing directly east, and west is then behind you. In front of you, there is a prominent fire break that stretches in a northeastern direction. That fire break will be prominent in the activities that we will be conducting here today for you. And to the right of that fire break is then the objective area, symbolizing all the objective areas that we will indicate to you of being objective Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and then Delta. The reason why we will be doing it here in front of you is because obviously we are using a fictitious scenario that we will tell you about, that we want you to see the effects that we'll be bringing onto the ground. I will now hand over back to Sunshine. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much to Kena Khasapane. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly take note. This is a joint force demonstration supported by South African Air Force, South African Military Health Service, Military Police Division, and the South African Police Service. So we want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy. All right, standing by to tell us the situation leading to our demonstration is Colonel Khosa. Colonel Khosa, over to you, ma'am.
In order to protect RSA borders and its people, the South African National Defence Forces Landward Defence Capability stages an annual joint training exercise that integrates the experience of the SA Army's seasoned soldiers and the new intakes. Exercise Vukuhlome, which is loosely translated to Rise and Arm Yourself, is an exclusively SA Army Force preparation exercise conducted at SA Army Combat Training Center in LOHATLHA, Northern Cape. The aim of the exercise is to execute an integrated training and to showcase SA Army state of readiness in conventional warfare. The simulated warfare is executed by 5 newly formed modern brigades that consist of motorized, mechanized, airborne, light, and reserve units. This simulation prepares our soldiers for peacekeeping missions in Africa and other interventions. The scenario for the exercise is based on a fictitious country called Karana, which is in Kisiwa Island. Kisiwa Island is situated 90 kilometers away from the Horn of Africa in the northeast. Karana is a member state of the SADC, Southern African Development Community. It is rich in mineral resources like diamond, cobalt, gold, and copper. Karana has been invaded by destabilizer groups from neighboring states who are benefiting from the exploitation of these minerals. Reports of human rights abuse and an imminent genocide have been brought to light through various media platforms. the SADC is taken to task by the international community to intervene in Garana and stop exploitation of minerals. During the SADC summit in Namibia, it was decided that an intervention force, Task Force Ndlovu, should be deployed for a period of 12 months to stabilize Garana and transition into a peacekeeping mission to rebuild and restore the economy of Garana, and thereafter hand over to the host country. The name of the destabilizer on the front is the Movement Patriotic de Garana, MPC. It is the most active destabilizer group in Garana under the leadership of Robert Kawale, who originates from the Fury tribe. He defected from the Guaranese Defense Force, citing discriminatory practices and inequalities within the military structures. MPC has the support of the Fury, which is a dominant ethnic group in Rimosa. Rimosa is a neighboring country south of Garana. They have supported the MPC with weapons and training in exchange of minerals. Their intent is to take over Lepco province and declare it the Republic of Fury, their strategic end state. Fury people are recognized as Guaranese citizens and integrated politically and economically. They have acquired technologically advanced weapons to strengthen their firepower, which includes the SA-35mm anti-drone system, which was recently acquired from Rimosa. The anti-drone system will be employed to deny Task Force Ndlovu the freedom of action to maneuver the airspace in the theater. Task Force Ndlovu must eliminate this anti-drone system in order to create favorable conditions for the hawks and rifles to maneuver the airspace. They also specialize in laying of ambushes and improvised devices, IEDs, on strategic routes. They will use these methods to hamper mobility and stop the fulfillment of the mandate. Therefore, they must be eliminated and contingencies must be developed to address these challenges and ease mobility of forces in Garana. The MPC has planned to capture the diamond minefields at point 65 in Lepco province. However, their plan was aborted when Task Force Ndlovu halted them in the vicinity of Klipkale. The current situation: after suffering heavy losses, the MPC escaped to Mechanized, where they established hasty defensive positions to regroup and defend themselves against Task Force Ndlovu's advancing forces. They have taken over most of the strategic towns. The deepest landing strip is currently used to smuggle minerals out of the country. And they are launching military operations from Mechanized using asymmetric warfare to harass the local population and attack Task Ndlovu military bases. Their current deployments: Objective Alpha, which is the main objective, is deployed west of Mechanized. The force composition in this objective is a strengthened mechanized company deployed with a strengthened motorized company in defensive positions. The aim of this deployment is to deny Task Force Ndlovu the freedom of action to execute military operations in Garana. This deployment is also there to protect the mining interests of the neighboring state, Rimosa. Objective Bravo is in Kettle Post and Yeoville. The destabilizer has deployed a logistic base and a military training center. Intelligence sources have confirmed that the destabilizer commander frequents the training camp with a protection element between 6 and 7 in the morning as part of his daily routine. Objective Charlie is a reinforcement element from Rimosa, which might interfere with Task Force Ndlovu military operations when the destabilizers are overwhelmed. A contingency has been planned to counter any possible reinforcement from Rimosa Defense Force. Objective Delta is the members of Mechanized community who are fueling riots to destabilize the town of Mechanized.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we then continue with the beginning of the activities here in front, you have heard about the unhappiness among the community here. The conditions have been simmering for quite a while now, and it has led to a situation where the community in Mechanized have now taken to the streets in protest. Ladies and gentlemen, in dealing with the matter in the Mechanized area, we have got our own embedded journalist that is in place in the Mechanized area that will be giving us a live feed of the activities that are taking place there. We have got on the ground Captain Sunshine Tsebula, who will be giving us the live feed. Sunshine, are you there?
Yes,
Let's
I
talk
can
to
confirm
her.
that
I'm up
I am currently here.
This old messing God.
Right, in our breaking stories this morning,
Locals
locals of Mechanized have taken to the streets protesting. These residents are currently complaining about the destabilizers that are looting in their community. They are talking about kidnapping of the residents that is currently taking place, raping of residents, and abduction of young boys to make them child soldiers. These residents feel like the government is doing nothing about the situation, as well as the local security authorities are doing nothing, including Task Force Ndlovu that is currently deployed here. As I'm speaking to you, I am on the ground, and what I'm seeing right now is that members of the South African Police Service have been called in to come and deal with these escalating riots. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm also just trying to find some safety for myself and the cameraman that I'm with here on the ground. As I mentioned to you, members from the South African Police Service, we've been informed that this is the public order policing unit that is currently here in Mechanized. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here they are. The crowd is becoming violent, throwing stones at the police. As you can see, they are advancing towards the police. We've been informed that the police are going to look for a convener. A convener is someone who is the group leader of these protesters, and this person must negotiate with the police to try and reach an agreement so they can see how to mitigate the situation on the ground. As I'm speaking to you, the crowds are becoming more and more violent towards this public order policing unit. All right, as the situation is getting out of hand, ladies and gentlemen, I can confirm to you that what I'm seeing is two conveners that are walking towards the police to try and negotiate, and most importantly, to lay forward their complaints, to inform the police why these protests are currently taking place. The negotiations with the convener are currently taking place as they are talking. The police listening to try and hear. I've been informed that these negotiations have become fruitless as these conveners did not reach an agreement with the policing unit. They are now going back to their members to further continue with these escalated protests. As I'm speaking to you, ladies and gentlemen, they are now throwing petrol bombs. As I'm also trying to find safety, there has been damage to the infrastructure as well. These protests have become extremely violent. We've also been informed that as a result of this escalating protesters, as they're going towards the police becoming violent, that members from the SA Army have been called in to assist these members. We've been informed as the news that this reinforcement comes from the Light Infantry Battalion battalion that has been dispatched here to assist the police in this regard. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been informed that this light infantry battalion consists of the South African specialized infantry capabilities with their canine, equestrian, motorbikes, and the trekking capabilities. Ladies and gentlemen, the SA Army is now moving forward, pushing the crowd backwards. We're also seeing some dogs have been released as the crowd is starting to dispense. Dogs have been sent out, and we've been informed that a member has been bitten by these dogs, and that military police has been called in to arrest this member that has been identified as a destabilizer in the crowd. The rest of the members are currently running away as the situation is intensifying. All right, we are now seeing members of military police coming to arrest. We're also seeing that the police have moved back to allow this operation to be taken over by this light infantry battalion. As what we're seeing now, ladies and gentlemen, we're seeing a van from the military police as they load the member who has been arrested. We're also seeing motorbikes and horses from Sasik coming onto the scene. Ladies and gentlemen, the members from this community have started to dispense, some members going back to their homes, and the members who are not participating in these riots are expressing their relief that the SA Army has come to the scene to come and stabilize the situation here in Mechanized. As I've been informed that some of the members aren't part of these protests. What is happening now, ladies and gentlemen, we are seeing that there's been arrests in conjunction with military police. We are seeing the police withdrawing, as well as members of the SA Army starting to also withdraw as they get into their vehicles. We're also seeing a change in the situation here in Mechanized as it is becoming stable. We've now seen the police move out of the scene. We're now witnessing the members of the South African Army, who are the light infantry battalion, also beginning to move away from the situation as it becomes stable here in Mechanized. I can also confirm that as the journalist, I do feel a sense of safety as well, and can confirm that the situation indeed has been stabilized. Thank you to the SA Army and the Light Infantry Battalion.
Thank you very much, Sunshine. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause to the South African, the Light Infantry Battalion, for that demonstration, together with the South African police and the military police. Ladies and gentlemen, although the situation has been successfully stabilized in the Mechanized area, the broader situation within the Karana as a country remained disturbingly unstable. This, ladies and gentlemen, due to the successful activities of the destabilizers that continue to rise and intensify as we go on. The deployment of a task force in Ndlovu in this area has taken place by mandate, and as typical with military deployments, we have got our own battlefield surveillance resources that are deployed ahead of time to ensure that we are able to gather enough intelligence so that they can then inform how we operate going forward. I do have with me the commander of the Tactical Intelligence Regiment of the South African Army, who is going to explain to us the deployments of the battlefield surveillance so that we can then understand how that process is unfold and coming to an end. With me, ladies and gentlemen, is Lieutenant Colonel Saul Keketsi, who will take us through these motions. Colonel, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Colonel. Members of the 1 Tactical Intelligence Regiment are currently deployed here. They have been deployed for the past 72 hours. These members are deployed to your north and up to the south. On your left and immediate front, these members are deployed and they are now covered. They are in their positions, continuously making sure that they provide information to the commanders to make an informed decision. These members are there to deploy to make sure that they do surveillance on the activities of the opposing force, and they must make sure that they are not being seen in doing so. These members are supported by 4 UAV capabilities. 3 of them are the Mavic, as well as the 1 Matrice. They are under the command of Major Titus as well as Major Boysen. These two squadrons deployed here is supported by a specialist squadron deployed in depth, making sure that they are communicating all the reports that these members are providing. Members on your left will now execute what we call the stealth method of extraction, making sure that they're moving under the cover, making sure that they go to a predetermined rendezvous for them to be picked up either by a rattle or a gecko. The members are now withdrawing from their positions. Members on your immediate front will also conduct a fire and maneuver, making sure that they are also withdrawing from their position without compromising. They are also going to a predetermined rendezvous for them to be picked up by a rattle. They are continuously supported by the UAV capabilities, exposing or making sure that they report on any enemy movements within their positions. These members will therefore withdraw to be picked up at a predetermined rendezvous. They will now also execute what we call a forced withdrawal, making contact with the enemy, but they will not be in an outblow contact with the enemy. They will make sure that they move from an encirclement to a position where they'll be able to break away. Members on your right are now also withdrawing from their position to a predetermined rendezvous where they'll be picked up for their safety. Once again, the UAVs are continuously supporting them as they conduct a fire and maneuver. Within your immediate front, they are now also withdrawing. These are the members that are doing a forced withdrawal, executing a fire and maneuver as they withdraw from their positions. A vehicle will now also be in position to pick them up from a predetermined rendezvous. Rattle will pick up these members to put them in a safe position. Ladies and gentlemen, that was one tactical intelligence regiment.
Thank you very much, Colonel Keketsi. Ladies and gentlemen, as we then continue, what you have seen is a part of the battlefield surveillance. We continue with the escalation of that, where we are doing the insertion of the pathfinders. If you look high up in the sky, around 10,000 feet to your right, you will see that we have got the BK with the next level of battlefield surveillance that we are going to be doing here in front of you. With me is the commander of the Airborne Force, Lieutenant Colonel Budaza, who is going to take us through the deployment of these pathfinders and the detail of the tactics that they then go through in order to ensure that we have got enough coverage of the area of operations in front of us for us to be successful in our operations. Colonel Budaza, thank you and welcome.
Thank you, Colonel.
Ladies and gentlemen, you will understand that any battlefield is rather fluid. As we continue with activities on the one hand, we have to react to what the destabilizers are doing on the other hand. We just got a report that we have one of our convoys that was being escorting aid that has been ambushed, and I'm going to hand over to Captain Tsebula once again to tell us what is happening on that front while we are waiting the Airborne to get down. Captain Tsebula.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, what you're currently witnessing is the motorized infantry. They were escorting a convoy of humanitarian aid, carrying some cargo that the destabilizers want to get a hold of. All right, what you're seeing now is that one platoon of this motorized infantry has debussed and started to engage the destabilizers, as I mentioned to you, that want to get a hold of the cargo in order to replenish themselves and sustain themselves. All right, what is going to happen as that engagement is taking place? This motorized infantry has debussed. They're now engaging the destabilizers. The other platoon is going to come forward, ensuring that they move away from the ambush, or rather taking away the humanitarian aid. As you can see, there's the other platoon with trucks, those white trucks over there, while the other motorized infantry are busy performing their drills and engaging. Simultaneously, ladies and gentlemen, you can see the free fallers coming on the ground.
You seeing landing is Measure Mokwena. And here comes
All right, our free fallers are coming on the ground in order to mark the drop zones. All right, as Colonel Khasapane has informed you that multiple things are currently happening in Karana. Free fallers coming on the forefront to mark the drop zones for special forces as they are about to come on. All right, motorized infantry is currently performing their drills to ensure that the humanitarian aid convoy can still carry on, and that the minute of the day on the other side is also carried. All right, as I mentioned to you, free fallers landing, marking the drop zones, preparing for special forces. Motorized infantry currently engaging the destabilizers, performing their ambush drills. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, there is the other platoon coming with the humanitarian aid convoy to ensure that they remove them safely from the ambush to a safe space. What is going to happen, ladies and gentlemen, the other platoon that is currently in engagement with the destabilizers, once they neutralize that infantry, ladies and gentlemen, is going to embark, and then they will then link up with the platoon that you are seeing. They've been informed that they can advance, and that contact that side with the destabilizers has been neutralized. As you can see, here comes the other platoon driving down with the convoy of the humanitarian aid. As we mentioned, that simultaneous actions are currently taking place here in Karana as the situation intensifies. All right, we're waiting for the other free fallers to come down as they continue marking the drop zone for special forces as we prepare for that. Infantry continuing to engage the destabilizers. As you can see, here comes the convoy. The two trucks, as you can see them in the middle, they are the trucks that are being escorted, carrying those humanitarian aids that the destabilizers want to get a hold of in order to replenish themselves and to sustain themselves. There comes the platoon driving, ladies and gentlemen, away from the ambush area. All right, the other force, which is the platoon from the motorized, once they are done with that operation, they are going to then embark, and then they will link up with this platoon that you are seeing in the forefront. All right, as you can see, everything is still going well. Here is the convoy passing. All right, taking that convoy away to a safe area, ladies and gentlemen. All right, as I mentioned to you, things are happening simultaneously. We're waiting for the other free fallers as they come down, ladies and gentlemen. As I mentioned to you, they will mark the drop zones for special forces that is going to come very soon. All right, free fallers in the forefront. Here comes another free faller, ladies and gentlemen. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the platoon with the convoy has passed successfully. The rest of the platoon, as you can see what they're doing now, they're going to embark. And then they are going to, ladies and gentlemen, link up with the rest of the platoon. And here comes another free faller. And he lands. All right, simultaneous actions are still currently taking place here in Karana. As we can see the convoy successfully moving away from the ambush area. We're also starting to begin to see the rest of the platoon that was engaging the destabilizer going to link up with the rest of the other motorized platoon to carry on with the convoy and to ensure that the mandate is executed in terms of humanitarian aid. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the motorized. As you can see, they're going to link up now. All right, simultaneously, the free fallers have marked the drop zone for special forces.
Scouts rode out to spy the land, even as the realm soldiers lay resting.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have seen the activities unfolding in front of you. Two things have simultaneously taken place. Your battlefield surveillance is in place, gathering information and giving us the intelligence that we need in order to inform our plans. And we have successfully dealt with the ambush that was aimed at our convoy that was escorting humanitarian aid. We now are in position to inform the plans that we are making further, so that the commander then can adjust his plans in accordance with very fresh and real-time intelligence in his hands.
All along the river, Chelmsford's army lay asleep. Come to crush the children of Mageba, come to exact the realm's price for peace. And in the morning, as they saddled up to ride, their eyes shone with the fire and the steel. The general told them of the task that lay ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now come to the South African Special Forces part of the demonstration. I'm Lieutenant Colonel John Kluger, representing the Special Forces. The next scenario entails an ambush conducted by Special Forces. As part of harassing and dislocation of the destabler by means of direct actions in the deep, Special Forces has received intelligence that the commander of the destabilizer base, en route to his base after inspecting forward elements of the main destabilizer force, is returning to his base. Special Forces has prepared a hasty ambush to destroy the commander and his convoy, thereby sowing confusion and disrupting command and control. To your right, at about 3 o'clock position, the Special Forces has set up a direct fire support base consisting of 14.5mm ZPU and a 14.5mm GOAT, which is a 14.5mm mounted on a 4x4 Land Cruiser. At your 12 o'clock, there are trenches not visible to your eyes, but the Special Forces are embedded as the assault group ready for the convoy. They will be supported by field engineers that will set up an anti-tank mine to stop the convoy, and they will also be supported by artillery with 120mm mortars in an indirect fire support role. The destabilizer commander will utilize a track stretching from south to north which is represented by the white targets at your 12 o'clock, stretching from south to north. An anti-tank mine, as well as indirect and direct fire support, will stop the convoy in its tracks. Thereafter, 3 vehicles will integrate with the assault group and destroy the convoy. Enjoy the show. Okay, Mark. You can initiate the mine.
Mike Whiskey, that's a firm airstrike.
LOHATLHA. Rifle, we are reaching inbound. Confirm you do not want the time 1311. You want an immediate attack.
Mike Whiskey, A firm.
Next call, 2 minutes out.
Mike Whiskey.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you have heard the communication between the commander and the pilot, the lead pilot on the Hawks, the scenario is that there is a need to interdict the destabilizers that are deployed in the unrest area with a mechanized company as well as a motorized company. The commander has determined that the existence of these 2 companies will undo completely his plans, especially since he also wants to do some actions regarding the picked up movement of that commander. The interdict will then commence, and with me I'm going to be having Major Peterson, call sign Spectre, who will talk through this airstrike that is inbound. Major, welcome.
Thank you, Colonel. We have 2 Hawks inbound from Air Force Base Overberg for a battlefield air interdiction strike. Battlefield air interdiction is used to disrupt enemy supply lines or to strike enemy positions behind enemy lines. The Hawk is a subsonic lead-in fighter trainer used by 85 Combat Flying School, which is based at Air Force Base Mikado. The Hawks are armed with 4 Mach 81 120 kilogram bombs and 120 rounds of 30 millimeter ammunition. They will carry out a live strike on an enemy position provided to them by the special forces operating in the deep. They will first conduct a bomb strike, followed by an immediate strafing run before egressing the area. The Hawk is a tandem 2-seat aircraft used for lead-in fighter training. It has a low-wing, all-metal structure, and it is used by the South African Air Force to prepare pilots to continue to the advanced light fighter attack aircraft, the Gripen, at 2 Squadron. The Hawk is powered by a Rolls-Royce Adair Mark 951 turbofan engine, and it has a ground turbine unit to assist startup on the ground. The Hawks, currently operating out of Air Force Base Overberg on a weapons camp, have gotten information from the Special Forces that the disruptors are operating from a objective, termed Objective Alpha for today's exercise. The Hawks are inbound. They will be overhead in 2 minutes to deliver the ordnance as stated.
Mageba come to exact the realm's price for peace. And in the morning, as they saddled up to ride, their eyes shone with the fire and the steel.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just got a call from the Hawks that they are 1 minute and 30 seconds out. They will be appearing from the south, from your right-hand side, just above the horizon. They'll be ingressing at a height of 12,000 feet, at which they will conduct their drop of a bomb. They will turn inbound towards the target, get visual of the target, and then release their bombs at a height above 2,500 feet above ground. Thereafter, you'll see them continue into a right turn, and they will set up for a circuit for an immediate strafing run with a cannon. It will be a series of right turns before they set up again, and then they will continue with the cannon attack before breaking off left. Ladies and gentlemen, Hawks inbound overhead on your right hand side.
Clear, hot.
Hot, 5-4.
Bombs out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Hawks have completed their bombing run, and now you'll see them in a right turn. They are setting up for the cannon hereafter. It's in a similar position, however, the target is slightly more to the south, so more to your right hand side.
Simpieza ubani benga jinja mabubesi impi ona simpieza ubani benga jinja mabubesi impi ona simpieza ubani benga jinja mabubesi. All along the river, Chelmsford's army lay asleep. Come to crush the children of Mageba, come to exact the realm's price for peace. And in the morning, as they saddled up to ride, their eyes shone with the fire and the steel. The general told them of the task that lay ahead to bring the people of the
Ladies and gentlemen, the Hawks are inbound again from the south. You pick them up on the right hand side, setting up for their cannon strafing run. The Hawk uses an Airborne 30mm cannon, capable of carrying 130 rounds. Lead is tipping in, and shortly followed by number 2, who's also tipping in now. Lead is hot on the target, and he's been cleared hot by the forward air controller. He's set up. The target is a white outstanding shell and they are using 30-meter high explosives ammunition. Lead's rounds are off, followed by number 2, who should be shooting shortly.
Tinta mabubesi Impi Ona tsimpieza Obani benga tinta mabubesi Impi Ona tsimpieza Obani benga tinta mabubesi Impi Ona tsimpieza Obani benga tinta mabubesi All along the river, Chelmsford's army lay asleep. Come to crush the children.
It seems that the Special Forces has completely destroyed the commander and his convoy, yet one member has sustained injuries and has to be casevaced. Under cover of direct fire support, the vehicles will withdraw to a safe area and will set up an emergency landing zone for the injured member to be evacuated. This will take place at your 12 o'clock position at about 50 meters. Special forces will now simulate an all-round defense. They'll stabilize the casualty and they'll be awaiting a CASEVAC by the BK-117. I want you to draw your attention to the size of this force and see and compare it to the firepower that was delivered on the enemy. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, the BK-117 has now hoisted up the operator, still under protection of the all-round defense. He has been stabilized, and now he'll be taken to a medical facility in Own Forces lines. You can see, ladies and gentlemen, Special Forces mission, despite having a casualty, has been a success. The destabilizer, command and control lines of communication and morale have been completely disrupted. In short, the destabilizer is dislocated, and this has created the perfect environment for the main force to conduct their operations. All station 0, withdraw.
Of Mageba, come to exact the realm's price for peace. And in the morning, they saddled up to ride. Their eyes shone with the fire and the steel. The general told them of the task that lay ahead, to bring the people of the sky to heal. Mud and sweat on polished leather, warm rain seeping to the bone. They rode through the season's wet weather, straining for a glimpse of the foe. Hopeless battalion, destined to die, broken by the benders of kings. Vainglorious general, Victorian pride, would cost him and 800 men their lives. They came to the side of a mountain. Scouts rode out to spy the land. Even as the round soldiers lay resting, MacGyver's forces were soon at hand. And by the evening, the vultures were wheeling above the ruins where the fallen lay. An ancient song, as old as the ashes, echoed as MacGyver's warriors marched away.
Ladies and gentlemen, the successful completion of the of the previous serial has given rise to the next activities that are now unfolding. We have received information Ladies and gentlemen, the commander has received information that there are still remnants of the force that was ambushed where the commander was killed, that are still remaining on the objective, and he has given instruction for a quick finalization of that activity, where his instruction is for there not to be any remnants left on the objective. We do have reports, ladies and gentlemen, of additional destabilizers that are being sent across from across the border. The intelligence at our hands currently indicate that there's also air assets that these destabilizers are equipped with. It is for that reason that the commander has also activated defense capabilities to ensure that the skies above the area of operation are cleared and protected, so that the ground forces plan can be effected to perfection. You can then observe, ladies and gentlemen, as the air defense capabilities to your right are engaging, putting up a net in the sky, ensuring that indeed the air assets from the destabilizers will be unable to penetrate and come through to interfere negatively with the commander's plans here in front. As information and intelligence become available, ladies and gentlemen, we want to share with you that at the moment, it seems that we are successful in keeping the destabilizers' air assets at bay. The commander has therefore decided that he's going to use the window of opportunity that is available at him to pin down the deployed forces that is in front and attempt to do the final destruction as quickly as he can. For that reason, ladies and gentlemen, he has given orders for the formation of his main attack. It is going to take place in the form of a bullhorn, where on the left he will deploy a anti-tank force that is supported with mechanized elements. And to the right, in other words, to your south, he will then deploy also his highly mobile armored cars with enough shock action to force the opposing force or the destabilizers in front to deploy, thereby allowing the chest as the focus of main effort to do the final destruction. Observe, ladies and gentlemen, as the forces begin to do a gradual build-up under the cover of the air defense elements to your right. Observe as they then better their positions in both your left-hand side, in other words to the north, as well as the left-hand side to the south. Effort continue, ladies and gentlemen, to try and force these destabilizers, mechanized and motorized forces on our objective to deploy, so that we are then able to unleash the commander's main plan to do the final destruction, where you will have the mechanized and anti-tank forces to the north, armored cars to the south, and we will then bring in the focus of main effort through the center, supported by artillery as well as the air, to ensure that the final destruction can then be effected. The commander is cautious not to commit his elements too early until he has received confirmation of the whereabouts of the air assets that we have been reported that they will be threatening our positions directly from the east. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander is not taking chances. Although the air picture is shaping up quite good in favor of own forces, the commander has decided not to take any chances, and he has called in also from the south, flying in all the way from a center city in Bloemfontein. He has called in South Africa's leading fifth generation fighter aircraft, the Gripen, the aim of which is to ensure that as much harm is inflicted on the destabilizers here in front, to create a favorable atmosphere within which direct forces can be committed and for them to achieve the mission that has been given to them. The Gripens are already airborne. Ladies and gentlemen, they are expected to be overhead in 10 minutes. In the meantime, the commander is going to keep this force deployed and pinned down by means of his own inherent indirect firepower capability in the form of artillery. An artillery strike is currently being ordered by the commander, the purpose of which is to ensure that this force is completely neutralized, thereby creating favorable conditions for the commitment of direct weapons. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander has made his final decision. The instruction has been given to the commander of the artillery to deliver an artillery strike, thereby ensuring that the force here and the battlefield in front of us is sufficiently prepared for commitment of own direct weapons. The battaliers are deployed to your right-hand side, in other words, to your right-hand side. Ladies and gentlemen, observe as they start to engage. From the observers deployed on the ground, ladies and gentlemen, the artillery strike is already reported to be having some great success, with the link-up forces that were coming in from across the border in the east already retreating eastwards. Ladies and gentlemen, we continue to keep the destabilizers' heads down here in front as the preparation for the final attack takes place. The Grippens are coming in from the south. They are 8 minutes inbound. The commander has now ordered the continuation of harassing fire on the enemy to ensure that their continued deployment is sustained longer. He has also called in the artillery to start engaging. The artillery is currently deployed to your right-hand side, in other words, to the south, behind the area where the battalions fired from at an area called Bisispan. They will then continue to do harassing fire in support of the forces that will be committed here shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, deployed to the south, in other words, to your right-hand side, is the deployment of the artillery regiment with both the G5 as well as the G6 capabilities. They have been ordered to take over the fire support responsibility here in front, and they are, the first shot is in the air. The direct fire support base has also been activated, and the assault orders are in the process of being issued now to the assault forces that are on the north, south, as well as direct eastwards as the chest of this bullhorn.
is done between own troops and enemy troops. The Gripen is the South Africa's advanced light fighter aircraft, and it was delivered in 2008. The forward air controller has made contact with the Gripens and is now conducting what is called a nine-liner to get them inbound safely and to attack enemy positions due to the fact that there are own troops in a close proximity. The FAC is going through his brief now, and he will have the Gripens give their brief shortly.
Census EWS abort code Alpha Hotel Golf. All right, are you ready for my brief?
Go ahead.
I am Falcon, and this is going to be a type 1 control with bombs. Alpha is going to be IP Alpha. Bravo is going to be 333 degrees magnetic left. Charlie is going to be 12.3 nautical miles. Delta is going to be 4.
Destroy with bomb. Hotel 1730 meters west. Juliet, mandatory attack direction 080 and 040.
You're correct.
Roger. Ready at the hold. Clear, you are cleared for immediate attack. Copy, cleared for immediate attack. Stand by, I'll call you 1 minute.
And ladies and gentlemen, that was the conversation between the pilot of the Gripen and the forward air controller. They have passed the coordinates of the enemy position as well as other target information to deconflict between the own troops and enemy troops. The Gripen, its next call will be 1 minute out. It will be coming from your right-hand side, and it will be conducting a bomb attack on the same target as the Hawks. The Gripen is operated from 2 Squadron in Air Force Base Makado, operated or led by Colonel Nzuta, who is the flight lead for the sortie as well. The Gripen itself is a light single-engine supersonic multi-role fighter attack aircraft, and is manufactured by Swedish aerospace and defense company known as Saab. The Gripen has full fly-by-wire, and South Africa procured 26 of them to replace the Cheetah D.
Alpha out. 29 seconds. Affirm.
The Gripens are inbound from the south. You'll pick them up along the cloud line. There are 3 Gripens in a spread formation. Lead is stepping in now, and he will deliver 8 bombs. On the right-hand side, now, following lead, and 3 is... And ladies and gentlemen, straight ahead of you, you'll see a stick of 8 bombs being dropped by each Gripen. And with that, a total of each Gripen dropping 1 ton of ordnance. Total of 3 tons of ordnance, which is placed on the enemy position. The Gripens will now set up for a show of force from left to right. Ladies and gentlemen, there's been a request for another attack from the lead aircraft to allow another 4 bombs on target, and the FAC has approved that, so they will circle back and do a re-attack on the same target.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you will see in front of you is the formation then of the chest of this bullhorn. The South Africa's mainstay in terms of direct firepower, the Oliphant main battle tank, is bettering their positions right in front of you.
Left and right, 90 prepare to Africa, great, Tango 1, report rate. Remember, we still have that serial that we have that. India 10, India 20 to fully integrate with Tango 10. Still loading. Approaching from the easterly direction, contact by a direct action. Report ready. So all item point targets destroyed. India 60. 0, this is Kilo 10, currently withdrawing to western direction. 0. India 10, in firing position. 0, the 20 in firing position, they are firing out over. 0. 0 for position, ring up. Weapons empty and safe. India 10, message received.
Ladies and gentlemen, the remnants of this force are reportedly destroyed. The commander is at the limit of exploitation with his force, and is currently giving the orders for the withdrawal of the force to in a western direction towards your position. These activities are going to take place still under the cover of their indirect firepower capabilities to ensure that no unforeseen destabilizer actions can interfere with the planned safe withdrawal of own forces. The commander has confirmed, ladies and gentlemen, in terms of the orders, what I've heard. He has given the force the instruction to now hold the ground that they have gained, ensure then that there is no remnants of the destabilizers left in this area, and thereby making sure that this area is now under the full control of Task Force Ndlovu.
Saturday of mastery continuous access. 100.
Members to remain in their positions.
They rode through the season's wet weather, straining for a glimpse of the foe. Hopeless battalion, destined to die, broken by the benders of kings. Vainglorious general, Victorian pride, would cost him and 800 men their lives. the round soldiers lay resting, Macabe's forces were soon at hand. And by the evening, the vultures were wheeling above the ruins where the fallen lay. An ancient song, as old as the ashes, echoed as Macabe's warriors marched away.
Remember, must not go back. Go forward. members from the mountains must move forward to come and form up. Get off the mountains, move to the front. All the members in the mountains, go down. Go and form up in front. All the members in the mountains, move to the front.
Impi, wonansi mpieza, ubani benga chinja mabubesi. Impi, wonansi mpieza, ubani benga chinja mabubesi. Impi, wonansi mpieza, ubani benga chinja mabubesi.
All along the river, Chelmsford's army lay asleep. Come to crush the children of Mageba, come to exact the realm's price for peace. And in the morning, as they saddled up to ride, their eyes shone with the fire and the steel. The general told them of the task that lay ahead, to bring the people of the sky to heal.
Yes, the season's wet weather, straining for a glimpse of the foam.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, can I draw your attention, please? Can the music go down? All right, ladies and gentlemen, what is going to happen is the following. All the soldiers that are on top of the mountain, can you come down so you can form up? And then we can start with the flag ceremony. All our soldiers that are on top of the mountain, can you come up and form up in the whole squad? And then we can do the flag ceremony.
They came to the side of a mountain. Scouts rode out to spy the land. Even as the round soldiers lay resting, Macabre's forces were soon at hand. And by the evening, the vultures were wheeling above the ruins where the fallen lay. An ancient song, as old as the ashes, echoed as Macabre's warriors marched away.
All right, can you settle down the music, please? The members at the back here, can you double up? All right, the members at the back here, can you double up so that we can form up and we can carry on and complete the flag ceremony? All the members at the back here, behind the toilet here. I see the officers. Officers, can you move inside the tent here, please? At the back here. Anybody behind here, can you just move out and come to the tent? And the soldiers at the back next to the toilet, can you move down? All right, the RSM, can you take control of the squads so that we can form up correctly now? Sergeant Major Kennedy, together with the rest of the formation, Sergeant Major and the RSM, can you quickly now get the squad on attention so that we can get it correctly and get to be ready?